Check one, two. Check one, two. Okay, sweet. Ah, sheesh. Don't really like the fact that the camera is up there right now. File that one under Go Figure.
Is that a kendo I see? Perhaps not. We're chilling, we're vibing, we're rolling around. Where art thou, Kendo? Kendo, thou Kendo, where art thou, Kendo? Do mine eyes deceive me, or art thou AFK? Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the desk from the center of the United
I
States
hear
of
people.
It's Kendo!
Okay. I hear someone.
You missed. I had a little drum roll and like introductory
You
missed it, but that's okay.
Ah, yes. Hi. Zach, how's it been?
It's been good. It's been good.
Oh, mercy. Oh. I wish I could say that I've been grandiose, but I have been anything but. We're hanging out though. We have a terribly bad hair day, so we're gonna look homeless. The best thing we can do is look homeless in style. So we have the Shope branded beanie on today.
Heck yeah.
Things that you can only get world's exclusives right there. Best things in life are free. We are
Nice.
We are here with the chalky milk.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff.
No names, please. No brands, please.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Oh, goodness. Okay, it's been a hot minute. You weren't able to be here last week, if I remember correctly.
No, most weeks I was not able to.
So what do you got cooking?
Well, summer gig is over. Heading back into the school year. Got the broadcast club starting up, getting up and running with that. Got some stuff lined up for getting some of our esport teams broadcasted. That's looking great. Personally, I am building a new computer, so that's cool.
Ooh, okay. So I did notice new computer. You had a motherboard that you're starting with, and is the centerpiece.
Yes, got a motherboard from a giveaway, which was wonderful. Ooh. Shout out to Showtime RL. And I've since bought the Intel i9-11900K. It was on sale for $250. So
this is a newer the giveaway motherboard you won is a newer motherboard. That's good.
Yes. Doesn't support the 12th gen, but yeah, whatever. So we want the highest 11th gen we could find, but also was on sale for like 60% off. So that's awesome. Getting myself 32 gigs of RAM and a terabyte of M.2 SSD.
Ooh.
Those are the parts we've procured so far.
Now M2 SSD or just SSD?
Yes. Yeah. PCIe 4.0 NVMe M.2 SSD.
Oh mercy. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Then you have then you have one of the old reliable discs just to put, all your extra video on if you do any editing.
Man, I am 100% getting 2 extra SSDs, not the M.2 because that many is expensive, but 2 extra like terabytes. One for because I have so many programs and games and whatnot. So like I have my main one that's for Windows and like programs that I run on a regular basis.
You need an entire terabyte just for Call of Duty and Halo if you have them on your computer.
Don't play Call of Duty, but I do have the Master Chief Collection, so that does take up quite a bit. Yeah, and then a terabyte for just games, because I've got 200 plus games on Steam, not including all the games I have on Epic I get for free, and my games on Origin, and my games on Battle.net. Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
And then I need another terabyte for the already 800 plus gigs of audio samples and virtual instruments I have. Because those suckers take up so much space.
Mm-hmm.
Like a single orchestral virtual instrument collection that I bought is like 500 of those gigs.
Mercy.
But it sounds like a real life orchestra, and it sounds amazing and beautiful, and so it's very worth it.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So we're selling the old gaming laptop. We're combining that which is my music system. We're combining into one big system because we got the power. Gonna try to get a 3070 Ti, just because like past couple years I've been running like the bare minimum 2060 and all that. But no, today we splurge.
Yes, indeed. I will say it is one of my favorite things in the world, being able to build the oh my being able to work on and build your own computer.
Oh yeah,
because there is so much satisfaction out of having the rig that you put together, you chose your certain design, etc.
Oh yeah. Know it inside and out. Take it apart, put it back together, all the good stuff. I remember building my first one when I was like 16 back in high school. That was a good one. And about my current one back in going into my freshman year of college.
Mm-hmm.
And so that served me for a good 4 years. But now it's time to upgrade.
Yes, indeed. There is nothing wrong with upgrades.
But also because sometimes on some of the productions I've run, the files are so big and so bad that OBS does not have the power to do it all. We got to get that extra computing power so we can really pound it out.
So how much do you ever watch like the Linus Tech Tips?
Oh, a decent amount. Less now, but I tend to dive back in every time I'm going to build a new computer or buy one.
Similar thought process, just always making sure that I'm up to date on different things, and at the very least, some of the things that they do over there are highly entertaining. So even if I'm not, it's still worth clicking on them.
Yeah, just the ridiculous setups they build. It's just like, only you guys will ever build this and enjoy this.
Well, yeah, they had a server tower. Like, it's normally supposed to be a server tower. And this thing, oh my goodness, was it special. Like they were able to run, like, if I remember right, there was 4 3090s that they had on this thing.
Ooh,
and
wow.
it was basically meant to render faster than like multimedia full-length picture films.
Oh yeah.
So insane the amount of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, because they're like pounding out 1080p plus videos of, on like 5 different channels every day.
Oh yeah. Just imagine getting to that point though, where people start sending you things for free.
Oh no, yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be a huge blessing.
Oh goodness. Although technically that's where I ended up getting one of my monitors.
Oh, nice.
2 of them actually. No, it just it ended up being a part of the sponsorship for one of the gigs that I had worked at one point. So that is one of the lovely things about this industry. There are times where, if you're the voice of something, sponsorships come along and they're like, okay, send the voice talent this, and then we can get, some hot ads there. That way they know what they're talking about a little bit more.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. So, you got any gigs coming up? Gigs? I imagine with everything, it hasn't been. You haven't had
Oh no,
anything
yeah.
that's
We're
gone
still
on.
working on
But
getting back into the swing of it.
anything that you have planned coming up, or is it too soon?
Not currently. I mean, I've got a couple orgs that have pretty regular weekly paid gigs that I could probably hop in on. But yeah, it's pretty bare minimum stuff, $15 a night. But it's a good start.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. $15 a night. There we go.
Yeah.
It's the place where we all started.
Oh yeah.
May not be all Guns and Roses and super special, but yeah, we went that direction with it. May not be Guns and Roses. Wait. Time to die.
Yeah. Definitely we're gonna try to find that way to like get to that next level of like pay grade. Like what's in between the weekly and monthlies and RLCS? What's in that window?
For me personally, I've found it's local. So like
Yeah.
find the organizations that are more based local, and figure out the ways that you can help work with them. Sometimes it's not the game that you want. Sometimes it's not the position that you want. But being willing to work with everybody and anybody on anything does go a long way.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of where my relationship with Unified ended up developing itself. Now, I mean, I travel to most of their city to city esports festivals, and the live team over there is so much fun to hang out and work with.
Nice. Yeah, not a whole lot going out here on the West Coast, and even if there is, it's all really spread apart. So the nearest big metropolitan area is 2 hours away. So
Yeah, there ain't too much going on in Corvallis.
yep, a couple of things in Eugene, but not a whole lot. And then there's Portland.
Yes, everybody loves Portland. No.
Even Oregonians are like, we don't have to go. If we don't have to, we're not going to Portland. It's a nightmare to drive through. It's not a very great place to live. Like it's decent, but it's expensive and it's yeah.
Yeah, I've heard I've heard things similar to what you hear about Florida, about Portland. So you have your fair share of very quirky people out in Portland, from what I understand.
I mean, it's definitely a different brand of quirkiness, but quirkiness nonetheless.
Well, yes, and that's where Florida, exact same thing. You have your own level of quirky, and definitely a different brand of quirky out in Florida. Florida is literally the melting pot of civilization.
Yeah. Only ones I can think of are like I think Rival Esports is out here.
Yeah.
I think they're based out of Eugene, and then Gen G is Pacific Northwest technically.
Mm-hmm.
But Gen G doesn't do Rocket League yet. They did have
Big yet. That is a very large yet. Get in touch with somebody from Gen G is all I gotta say, because stuff is going down. Don't know that like they're gonna have open casting calls or anything, but with the amount of things that you are able to do in the industry, like you would be someone that within a certain time frame of travel could show up and show out for them.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. I think Rival's mainly focused on sideswipe tournaments, is what I've seen recently, at least.
Yeah. And that's something. Rival, I still don't know why. I still don't know how to get into Rival. Rival has everybody who's basically been around since the beginning of time on it.
Nice.
So I don't know that they'll ever lack commentators.
Yeah, actually, I got a message from them at one point, like a year ago, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to get in contact more and talk," and then radio silence.
Well, yeah, I had something along that lines about 2 years ago, and it was just like, hey, why are you not a part of this? Like, why aren't you in the casting pool here? So I sent my application in, and I never heard back. I could literally message Quint right now and ask, hey, any chance that I can do a thing?
Nice.
And the chances are I could get an answer back. But
Yeah, it's crazy all the connections you make in these different places.
well, that's the thing. Like, a large portion of the connections that you receive over time aren't always direct casting connections. So, for me, as I said, my experience is it doesn't always end up being exactly what you want, exactly where you want it to be, the position, the place, etc. But those connections that you're able to make at that time, huge, gigantic, gargantuan. So, like, the unified stuff that I ended up doing, I ended up having one person that I knew, actually, if I remember correctly, JT Displays was the person that I knew. He had done multiple of their MC gigs before.
Nice.
And he was a mutual connection there. So they were doing something in the Kansas City area. A lot of people knew me locally in the Kansas City area, and they were just like, "Okay, hey, this is a guy. We can talk. He knows how to do Rocket League. We're gonna be doing a Rocket League tournament." And they normally would find people who are more local earlier on. Even now, when they do their broadcasts, they emphasize more the local talent than they do bringing people in. But if it's like a larger event, they'll bring people in. They're not opposed to that.
That's cool.
Hoping that they do another Cornhusker State Games up in Lincoln. That would be a lot of fun. That was a party when we did it.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I know. Genji recently had like a McDonald's combination tournament. Like a bunch of McDonald's employees played Rocket League in a tournament. And I remember there was a casting call for that. I put my name in, didn't end up getting the call back, but you know when they got someone from Washington I wasn't familiar with, but then Danger Taco, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Was it a remote or was it?
It was remote, but they were asking for people more Pacific Northwest. And I was like, is Taco?
Do you remember?
Northwest?
No, he's Chicago, but do you remember who the other person was? I always tend to ask these questions just due to if it's someone that I know, I can give you a line of connections. If it's someone that I know knows someone that I know, I can usually give you a pretty good line of connections. But
here, let me see if I can find it. Oh, hold on, almost. Two. Aha! Here we go. All right, here's the broadcast. Who is it? Hydra Canine.
I have no idea who that is. Love it. That's a new talent name on me.
No, that's cool. I found him on Twitter and I followed him. Doesn't seem like he had a whole lot of Twitter activity, but
I mean, the best of us don't. I'm just saying, like, get to the point where you never have to utilize Twitter, and then never use it again.
Yeah, very
Become a Cheeves at that point. Post one lovely picture of yourself with the lady in a field of sunflowers, and then an extra one for your feline lovers,
Yep.
and never post again.
Maybe I should start posting cat pics.
Hey, there's a niche there. There is definitely a niche there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some people who cannot stop staring at cats.
I mean, it's not a bad sight whatsoever.
No, not at all. Especially when they're prideful. Oh, and you know it. You know it when the pride is there. You know it when the pride is there.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. La, da, da, da. We're also trying to catch up on a few different things with being sick.
Yes.
The worst thing is I end up falling devastatingly behind, cripplingly behind at times, but there's a lot of it's a CCA busy season, and hopefully there's CRL news around the corner. We'll find out.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
They're pretty lip sealed about that at the moment.
Yeah.
So we'll find out.
It would be cool though if I could convince them to have a LAN out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, that would be nice. I
like a pre-Worlds West Coast and East Coast lands and whatnot. I don't know.
Bear with me. Regional Portland.
We could make that happen, or Eugene. Eugene's got a pretty nice stadium you could use. Eugene also has an airport, so that is helpful.
Yeah, Portland doesn't even have an airport, really?
No, they do, but the only two places in Oregon that have airports. Well, no, I think it's a third one, but it's in some random city in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, that's like half of Oregon. There's just towns out in the middle of nowhere.
It's my kind of place. I'm used to that sort of thing here in Kansas.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Oregon's like 90% of the state is not civilization.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, yeah, I love it. The forest, the greenery, the variety of outdoors is fantastic.
Bigfoot?
Yes, Bigfoot's, definitely rumored to be around the area.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely isn't the mascot of the local baseball team, but whatever.
And you have seen Bigfoot, correct?
Oh, well, I've seen a Bigfoot. I've seen a man named Bigfoot.
How many people are actually named Bigfoot? That's
Well, not actually named Bigfoot. It was his camp name out at the summer camp I work at.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, there's Bigfoot.
Now, does he have one foot that's bigger than the other? Is that the reason why, or?
No, I think he just liked the name.
Does he have Robin Williams level hair on the body?
Don't think so.
No? Interesting.
Yeah.
I always look for the reason behind everything, and
No, yeah. I mean, my camp name is S'more, so.
S'more. Is it because you eat a lot of s'mores?
That is one of the several reasons, yes.
Okay. This makes a little more sense.
Yep. One of them. Probably won't know this, so just give this one to you for a freebie. My real name is Zach Moore. So
Oh! Oh! Okay, okay.
yeah,
It all makes sense now. See, but now the question lies in Bigfoot. Why? Where? I feel like there's some emotional damage there. Because, you know, you don't just choose the name Bigfoot. It chooses you.
Yeah, I don't know. I could also be that it was just like he wanted to be some kind of iconic, and it's what's iconic around here.
Ooh, that is true. That is true. Okay, sorry.
Nah, you're good.
Random regional talking points. Always a fun thing.
Oh, no, yeah. Oregon's got some interesting stuff.
Okay. Let's see here. We can do a few different things. I know you won't have any vidya to throw my way. We can cast a couple replays of together if you'd like. Did you?
That would
go ahead.
be cool. I currently actually gonna go do a thing with the girlfriend, but I should be back soon.
Ooh,
so.
okay. Well, you enjoy that, and then
Thank you.
most likely I will be here. I will be in bewilderment waiting.
Cool. I mean, if you want to, I don't know, roast my caster or whatever, it's my first one, so.
Oh, wait, I thought I've done this already, but no, I can do that if you'd like.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's on my Twitter. Feel free to go for it.
Okay, we're gonna roast Zach's caster reel.
Yeah, just write down some notes and I'll collect them when I get back. All right, I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, we will see
I'll
you.
see the lady friend.
Very, very soon.
Sayonara.
Go with the Markiplier. Bye-bye! Oh, I hurt my own soul just thinking about that. Okay. Okay. So I'm a terrible person and I may or may not be eating cake. I apologize. These are the confessions that everybody wanted.
Forcing the dunk. Did he? I think he hit this.
Ooh!
Temmie.
It's off the backboard. He reads the clear and just dunks him.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. This is an 8-minute caster reel. Okay. Yeah, we got lots of things to roast here. So, first off, caster reels. You want to keep your caster reel more often than not down to about 2 minutes. 2.5 maybe would be pushing it. A lot of people, they stop paying attention. You can use YouTube and the analytics there and find out just how much people are watching and where they stop watching. And about 90 seconds in, people usually have the gist of it. So you want to front load whatever you do. In a best foot forward mentality. Okay. Let me see.
God, Temmie. You goofy weird.
And that quick little turn meant Temmie could not get up in time, and that just... Oh, that is an axle breaker right there. And Temmie's going to need to get repairs before next game.
Okay.
You goofy weird.
Alright, here we go.
Forcing the dunk. Did he? I think he hit this off of Temmie.
It's off the
he
backboard.
did.
So I'm writing this sucker
Clear
down.
and just dunks him.
God, Temmie. You goofy weird.
And that quick little turn meant Temmie could not get up in time, and that just...
Forcing the dunk. Did he? I think he hit this
monster.
off of Temmie.
It was off
Yeah,
the
he
backboard
did.
where he reads the clear and just dunks him.
Folks, the image on your screen has not been edited. It is not due to poor happenstance and circumstance that this image looks like this. So as far as the play goes, not a bad play just right off the bat. My issue is this is two different plays, isn't it?
Yeah, Temmie. Team Luffy weird.
And that quick little turn meant Temmie could not get up in time, and that just, that is an axle breaker right there. And Temmie's gonna need to get repairs before next game.
And you know the most insane thing about
Be 2-0 with Cairo in the lead for the second game of best of 3. What are your opinions right now, Zach?
The players were trying to make something happen, but they were overextending, putting all their players downfield trying to make something happen. And Cairo were able to take advantage of that, get it past the last man, and slide it in. Something that I'm really liking from Storm is his patience on offense. He's not throwing himself against balls that he knows he cannot win or that have a very low chance of going in. Just make sure that he can stay in the play, stay present, maintain that pressure, and then take the best opportunities that he can.
Flashosaurus. I know that name.
Team, I think, is doing
happened to Game 4.
Clover, the fakes, the flicks. He's
Wait.
got the number of Luffy Weird, and he's been dialing it up all game.
Mm-hmm. This is really starting
And
to
of
become.
course, the reset play all the way. Wow.
Is that a storm? Because the lightning has struck on this field. Storm taking it in, the bump, opening it up, and Cairo poised to take this game 3 up 3-2. However, they still have a minute.
Their game, and actually, oh my God, Clover off the backboard, the double touch will find the 7th one for Team Benito. It's no Brazil, but I will still take a 7-2 win.
You know, some may ask, Clover, is this a 3-leaf? Is this a 4-leaf? It doesn't matter. He's got the angles. He don't need no luck. He's got the mechanics. He will put it home every single time.
Okay, I like that.
Only one who can get these goals going. What a beautiful, beautiful positioning.
Oh, you know, if Cairo wins this series, that money's going straight into a new pair of axles because they have to be broken after that play.
Definitely do so.
Gets beat out, and Enzo getting the demo on the Clovers rotating back with Ducky G with the shot, putting that bottom left, and Luffy Weird's got a 3-goal lead. Zek, what is happening this series?
I honestly do not know, but it's just a back and forth. The pendulum swings one way and back the other. We saw Clover with the insane angles and double taps last game, and now we see Ducky just slotting it in that bottom left corner.
3 goals up.
Storm clearing out. Magic gonna follow it up. He's got space. He's got time. Flipper set? No flipper set, but the fake works. Noah clearing to the side. Brad moves, looking to put it off the side while it goes center. Storm looking for the shot.
I'm over here writing things down.
Figures it out though. Percy now downfield. He's got the drill. He's got the flick, and it goes in. Percy securing game 1.
3-2 with, of course,
There it is again. The big brain plays coming out from Rad moves. He's got the noggin on him. But does he have the mechanics and game sense to keep it up? I think he does. Is Cairo making a good drive? Percy just stopping that ball, but Storm will redirect it back to a teammate. Right moves now following it up. He gets a second touch. It's out center, but Percy is there for it. And Percy, the man of the match so far, and the one thing stopping Cairo from just absolutely destroying this match so far, as they've had 3 shots on net and almost none for Cody's Alpha Boost Fun. Away from him. Shot.
Oh.
It's in! Storm! Bringing the thunder!
that was a beautiful play right
Zion. Rad moves now. Gonna leave it for Magic. It goes high. Magic tapping off to the side. Leaving it for Rad moves. A little fake there. 1 man back. 2 man back. Below 50's in. It slides in! The bottom left.
Ah,
What a 50.
all right, needed to blow the nose there. Nobody wants to hear the
He's gonna
schnoz.
slot it to the far side. He is! That is a beautiful shot. Big Scar It's 50 and Snow just finding the beautiful, like 10-degree angle, the bottom left corner. No defenders there for it. And that's a 2-goal lead with only a minute
Ground
off the clock.
zero
Buckaroo
decal.
here
Love
to
it.
Fight. Home, that's a 3-goal
The
lead
true
for
Chad right
Valkyrie
there.
Array. And
How
the
much of this is
conditions here are
Frost?
Beautiful. The double tap by Plum and Luck could not find the touch. And this is amazing. Valkyrie have found their rhythm. They found the beat they are moving and grooving to. And they're ready to take this series away from Prestige Gold. They are
Feels
here for
prestige,
revenge,
man.
and successful revenge at that. I'm dead. Finally, their first goal in the past 3 games.
Did they really go scoreless that long?
They have gone scoreless that
Oh my
long.
gosh.
The 2 games before this were 2-0, and this
Oof.
game now,
The
finally
attempt
getting
there.
a goal back. Predictions. Begone Champions Field. Game 7. This is it. I'm dead. Brutal Team 37. The 2 juggernauts in this tournament. Back and forth. Trading blows. We will finally see who is the better team. And honestly, I do not know.
Dang it! Why do you not know?
Get the mental game reset, and I need to bring it back. Luck, up within the air. Plum goes out to challenge him. Luck goes under. Luck 50's the last man. Yulito shoots. It's in! Yulito scores for Prestige Gold, and it's a 1-goal game. And a little fake underneath in the 50 means Yulito had an easy little shot to slide in
Don't
and
be
fell
the
quick
guy
at the
who
time.
doesn't know.
Back to Zuckerberg. Big long shot. That net is
Zuckerberg.
open, and Zook scores it.
Ah,
Almost a full
yes.
5 minutes into overtime. 2 full games almost going scoreless. And Zook, the sniper shot from midfield, makes sure that Oregon State stays in this series. And we are going to Champions Field. Absolutely.
That's actually a really good
You know,
one.
they may be called missing in action esports, but there was no action missing from this series. They brought it all the way. The passing plays, the solo plays, and that dribbling play. Oh, all those axles, so broken. Virtual Esports checking into the mechanic shop right now because, oh my gosh, L has got to have dislocated every single axle on that team. Off the sideball, it goes center. Savage gets to it first. He tries to pop it high. Over Zola. Over Dialect and
Ooh.
under the crossbar. Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in the final game of the series. Just that little pop. Oh, looks like Dialect own goal. That is unfortunate. A little pop. Oh, looks like Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in the final game of the series. Just that little pop. Oh, are dislocated every single act on that team. Off the sideball, it goes center. Savage gets to it first. He tries to pop it high. Over Zola. Over Dialect and under the crossbar. Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in the final game of the series. Just that little pop. Oh, looks like Dialect own goal. That is unfortunate. It's a bounce down. Ghost. No, gets beat by Dialect. Dialect now. No defender's back. Star Circuit misses it. Trying to recover. Dialect pounces it. That's a shot opportunity off the back wall. It's up. Zook's up for it. He puts it on net. Ghost can't get to it, and it's Zuckerberg puts home the winning goal in overtime. And Zola off to the back ball. Savage goes up, gets beat, and Ghost bouncing off the side. Couldn't reach it, and off the post it goes in. Oregon State takes it in 5. And what a wonderful matchup. Zuckerberg, the MVP for Oregon State.
Nice. Let's see here. Alright, so I know what I want to kind of tell
What a
Zektek
dunk
about his casting
in the
reel.
final 5 seconds as Mizzou have anything left in their tank. It's going to go to Chalks. Infield pass to Whale. Over the goal, off the bar. What a read by Chalks! That's the equalizer in 0 seconds. What a way to survive! Well, I guess once you're on a roll, you're going to stay on it. It's going to take quite a lot of force to push them back. UT Dallas cannot provide it. Hit the gym, lads. Right now, Texas Tech is running all over you. They're shooting 75% from the field. Game 1 is history. Game 2, the Red Raiders are here to play. We have just hit halftime. This is no insurmountable lead, but 2 goals right now must feel like such a marathon. Sosa stepping up in a big way. The Game 7 double tap to bring it within 1. Yeah, and these long clears do help, so now it's just about making sure that they can capitalize on mistakes. Is that it? It's 2 players committing. It's not out yet. Bits from a tough angle. It's off the bar. It's in the goal. They've just potentially stolen game number 2.
A lot of respect from Nefarious on the 3 Cheese defense. Really, every time we've seen a play like that, kind of a lofted air dribble or just a touch middle, they don't go for it, but the bump play, they go for those. Jaywis from an angle into the back post, and that's game 2 to Nefarious. Unfortunately, they will get another chance. They're just going to get sent to the lower bracket, but Nefarious dominantly down
Achieves
the
with his
stretch.
cup.
We'll take this
Love it.
series, move on to our winner final against Ghost Gaming. And Fickle, it was a little bit of a shaky start, but how you feeling about that series from Nefarious?
It's so good. It's so good. So, the things you want to learn from all this. Short casting reels like that, 2 minutes, it's very easy to get through the entire thing, especially if the content is this level.
What a dunk in the final 5 seconds as Mizzou have anything left in
Great
the tank.
balance
It's
of
gonna go to
background
Chalk.
music.
Infield pass
If
to
you're gonna
Whale.
use it,
Over
use
the
it
goal,
well.
Off the bar. What a read by Chalk.
Make sure it has a bite, keeps the person who's listening engaged. You know, don't just throw the music. Everything in a casting reel needs to have purpose. Like, I put this clip here for this reason. I put this clip here for this reason. I put this background music here for this reason. And if it doesn't have that, oof. That's all I got. Oof. Most of the time, you can tell if it doesn't have that. There's also times where you can tell that somebody doesn't exactly know everything that they're doing when it comes down to the casting reel. So I'm not saying that this is a perfect example of that, but a shorter casting reel would definitely be in order. I'm actually looking forward to this. Because there's a lot of little teachables. So there are exceptions to that rule. Like, the good example would be my good friend Novanta. Has had a habit of putting together reels that are like monthly reels. Because this was done during this month, and it's just the monthly shout reel. You gotta make sure you keep up with everything that's going down. And Bro can post any one of those straight to anybody who inquires about a reel. And it's just like, oh wow, this is recent stuff. This is just in 1 month. No, this is what I'm talking about. Even better if you got it on YouTube and they can see, oh, this is this month, and if you've been doing it consistently for your month on end, oh, that's good. Like those are the things that people want to see. They want to see consistency. They want to see a representation of what you are behind the microphone. And if they can see a representation of who you are outside of the microphone as well, I mean, throw a little bit of that extra spice in there. A little bit of the extra flair. Nah. I have other reels that are also waiting for me to give them the rundown that I need to catch up on. Life is a game of catch up. There is no mustard when it comes down to the the casting business. What am I talking about? There is no mustard. I love delivering good news to people. Oh, let's see here. Actually, I need to close that. So one of the real fun things about going to live events. Ah, there we are. Such a good video. So, courtesy of Zara, who was at the LCS finals, does work in photography, does all sorts of stuff for Unified, is essentially the wonder child of a lot of Unified live events right now. Zara puts a lot of the live production together, and also has a knack for doing media. And eventually there's going to be a video of myself with a bunch of cosplayers that comes out. Sadly, the microphone did not work very well for us when we were filming that, so they have to pick and choose. They have to go through a little extra editing. There just hasn't been enough time for all of that. During that, I ended up having a foot race with Captain Jack Sparrow. That'll be a fun one that I draw everyone's attention to, when indeed I'm able to draw their attention to it. Have a lot of fun there. Oh, yeah, that one courtesy of Evan. This is so good. It's moments like this. Find yourself a friend. Find yourself a friend who's willing to do that for you. This is awesome! Game 5! Game 5! Oh, live events are special. Live events are so special. See, I'm gonna go through a few different things here. This one's too real. Oh my goodness, that is good. Freaky coaching top blokes. Love it. communicating. Hee-haw.
I joined Uber One because I hate delivery fees and I need to save money for when I get canceled. And I don't want to go back to pictures of my feet. I mean, how would I even do that? Find out at
Okay, that ad really well done.
I see how this match went for him.
Looks like it's going to be Fire Raptor as our interviewee with a couple of supporters in the background as well. But Fire Raptor, I mean, my first question here is you find the very first goal, if I'm not mistaken, and you do it pretty much alone. You take it from one side of the field, off the wall, down, you find a demolition, and you find the goal off the back. So was that kind of the moment you guys kicked it up a notch? Was there anything specific you did there, or was that just you playing spur of the moment, finding that opportunity?
I probably won't put it up just because it is a rival community.
Like when I took it down the left side,
And this is technically a CCA
the net was more or less just open. Like, but once we got the ball
Casting
started rolling, then,
Workshop.
more goals from there on out.
No names, please.
In game one, you know, it was a little bit of a slower start. I want to say, I'm pretty sure it
But
was the lowest score.
always a
game
fun
overall
thing to
for
watch
you guys and
product
Red Bull.
live.
So how did that feel coming into the were there
And then I guarantee you, Powder's gonna ask me,
rest of the series, it seemed like that
how
game
did I
was
do?
a little bit different from you.
Yeah, it was just like it was definitely a warm-up game because when you're sitting in training, it's not the same as a normal game. So once we got goals in that game and we ended up winning, the second, third got warmed up and he started scoring a lot more. So it was just a lot easier.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into my next question. I asked this in the previous series as well because they played a very similar way to you guys as well. But do you see yourselves as a momentum-based team? You mentioned that once you guys got warmed up, it was pretty much over. It kind of clicked with you guys, and games 2 and 3 were just purely dominating. So is that kind of how you guys work out, or do you try to just play the way that you can?
Yeah, I can definitely see us being a momentum-based team. The confidence that can be gained after the first game will definitely carry over for the second and third game. Because you can see that in the second, third game, we definitely got more creative with the goals we were trying. So
yeah, absolutely.
It definitely is a snowball effect.
Yeah, snowball effect, I think, is a kind of a good descriptor of what you guys brought to the table today. Game 1, you know, a little bit shaky. Games 2 and 3, just that continuing roll of the snowball. But one more question for you, Fire Raptor, and a pretty easy one. Is there anybody you'd like to give a general shout-out or a thank you to while you're here with us?
Big up Zaya for carrying games 2 and 3. You know, I could not put the ball in the net after that first game. So
fair enough, short and sweet. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us, and again, a huge congrats to you all on that victory. And with that, folks, we are getting ready to jump into Game 3 in just a little while. Here, Game 3, you've got the University of Kansas versus Butler University, and Game 4, St. Ambrose versus Kennesaw State to wrap up the evening. We talked about this a little bit during the break, Powder. It's like, these teams, the names look a little familiar, but we're still in that situation where we haven't seen this variation of the team, this version of the team. So are they going to live up to the old calibers, the old expectations, or are they going to bring out a brand new beast this season?
Yeah, and you know, for University of Kansas, this is the team that I'm looking for as well. This is a team who's made good runs in other leagues as well, and you know what? Made it all the way to, I want to say, the championship in NACE a couple of years ago. So this is a school that has history here in NACE, but with this roster, it's just, we have to see how they perform. I want to say over the summer, this roster made a deep run within another league, but now it's up to them in NACE to see how they take it against Butler University.
And Butler University, a program I'm more familiar with than this Rocket League team, to be quite honest. I know that they're going to be bringing out their hardest trained players, their most excited players, and I've, you know, full disclosure, I don't think I've seen Kansas or University of Kansas before, so I'm excited to learn from that as well. This is that first week where we really get the chance to look at these players from so much more than their names on a spreadsheet. You know, we get their names so early, but it's like, until I see that player, I'm not really going to know anything about them. So this is their time to prove themselves the same way we've seen a couple of schools do that already. Shawnee State and Central Michigan University really coming in large and in charge. But Powder, like I said, I'm really hoping that we get maybe not a 3-0. I'd even take a 3-1 at this point.
I gotta agree with you, and you know what? We said it in the previous match as well, but it feels like this has got to be it. These are two teams where I think we've recognized players on both of these rosters. We've mentioned how University of Kansas, they have history here in NACE. They have history as a roster as well. It feels like that this could be the one that, you know, may not go the distance, but you know, at this point, we don't need that. We just need a Game 4. We just need one more game. And I feel like this could be the one, but you know what? We might have another 3-0 on our hands. One of these teams might have something in store for us.
Hopefully there is something exciting in store for us, whether it is a game 4 or 5, or maybe just some weird plays that we really haven't seen before. The one thing I'm still, I don't want to say relying on, but hoping to see is, of course, that just extreme aggression. We really haven't seen any kind of proactive demolition crazy teams, and those are usually my favorites. I don't know what it is about the demos. I have a good time with them. I think they're a lot of fun to watch, and I'd love to see one of these teams come out the gate and do that exact play style. I think the Rocket League really changes when a team plays that play style, because if you force a team into what constantly feels like a 3v2, that has to bring out entirely new types of adaptation. That's not like a, oh, they figured out our pass off, our double tap score, we have to change that. That's like, we have to change every playbook we brought here. We have to rewrite history right now.
And that's the great thing about a physical play style. And you know what? I'm looking for a team to bring it out as well. We saw Full Sail with a couple bumps and demolitions in the previous series, but it didn't really feel like they were going after the meta,
right?
Going after demolitions. And I think that if a team is struggling, you know what? We'll say it again. It certainly could be a thing that turns the tide of a series. This game is played in 3v3 for a reason. So if you're constantly taking a man out of that rotation, it's going to throw some teams off if they can't adjust to it. And I really think that the first team to do that, whether it's being proactive about it and doing it at the beginning of the series or doing it after they go down, is really going to shift their series that they're in.
I'm trying to think of what the best opener would be with that hyper-aggressive team. Would it be to fake on kickoff and look for a demolition immediately? Would it be to get ball control into your opponent's back third and then turn it into a demolition derby? I truly don't know. I'm really excited to see what these teams do as that opening play, whether it's the hyper-aggressive demolition derby or not. Whatever strategy they're bringing to the table, I feel like a kickoff can really kind of immediately be a precursor of what's coming up next, right? If they go for the general kickoff goal, double tap into goal situation, that's going to show they're probably following some pretty traditional rule books. Or if they go for something a little bit more weird, I mean, a fake on a kickoff is something that on the kickoff rather of like the beginning of the game, I don't think that's something I've ever seen. So if someone did do that, I'd be excited to figure out why.
It would be certainly risky, but you know what? If it pays off for you, that is huge momentum at the start of a series. So interesting to see how these teams will start off. And again, I'm just waiting to see which team it just plays that physical, because we haven't gotten to see it yet today. It's pretty much the only play style we haven't seen yet. We've seen quick, we've seen methodical, but we haven't really seen physical just yet. And I'm just waiting on one team who kind of senses those demolitions, has one player on the team who can just seek those out and hunt players down to try to give their team an advantage.
Yeah, and there's this one play that comes with that play style that I feel like we see pretty often, but weirdly enough, like you said, haven't seen today, where it's that kind of general, one of your teammates comes in and demos whoever's playing goalie in that moment, whoever's blocking goal, and then that's usually an open goal. But that's such a textbook play. I expected to see it at least once, but instead it's just been a constant change-up. A lot of aerial goals today as well. I've noticed we're seeing a lot more air play than ground play.
Yeah, that comes with the mechanics of these players as well. This is the highest level of NACE, the NACE Star League. So these players are going to have the mechanics to go after plays like that. And it's worked out up to this point. We haven't seen anything extremely flashy yet, but you know what? It's still fun to see these players show off the mechanics that they have. And with these players as well, I think that this might be one of the best matches we have so far. We've gotten to see these players before. I really think that these players might have the best mechanics we've seen so far tonight.
I really do hope so, because those are like you said, the goals in the games that are usually the most interesting. When you see people juggling the ball for 10, 15 seconds, you're like, whoa, like that's insane. Yeah. Well, if you understand the mechanics of the game. If you don't, you're like, okay, score already. But if you do, I mean, that really is a difficult feat for a player to do, and I would love to see that high level of mechanical skill. I would love to see the air dribble from one side all the way to the other, or kind of a fake out in the air. It just would really be an interesting play. But like I said, full disclosure, I really am not super familiar with either of these teams, so there's a clean slate in the mind of Septilence here on what these players are going to bring out, and I'm excited to see them kind of write their stories into the rest of the season.
And especially when you talk about stories, and I was just going to mention with University of Kansas as well, this maybe not necessarily being the same roster that made a deep run into playoffs a couple of years ago, but still you have that school history behind you. And it may not have been you, but it's kind of what you see in traditional sports as well. You carry this tradition, you carry history behind you. And that might put on a little bit of pressure as well. I think this Kansas team is still a fantastic roster, but when you walk in with the history of previous players before you, it might add a little bit more pressure coming into seasons.
Yeah, there really is kind of that mindset of big shoes to fill. And whether or not there's, one player on the team that was there during that insane run, or whether there's no players. I wholeheartedly agree. It's like, we know we've done it before. Let's be able to do it again. Let's live up to that potential. Let's live up to these stories and fairy tales and whatever you'd like to call them that our school has already shown. Let's show them we can do it all the same with or without those players. And maybe University of Kansas is looking to build that narrative here today. But for now, we can only hypothesize as we wait for, I believe there was a small tech issue once again. You know, as is the way of live production. You're never going to have a live production without somebody's mouse or keyboard or monitor or something. That's just what you've got to expect in a situation like esports live production. So I'm excited to see what these players do, no matter how long it takes to get there. I know we'll get there eventually, and that's part of the fun. We know they'll ready up when they can, and we're going to get ready to jump into this series where we are hoping just for not a 3-0, or if it is a 3-0, at least a very close one.
Yeah, and again, and it felt like we did have a closer 3-0 in the previous series, too. It didn't feel like Ozarks, we'll be honest, they kind of struggled against Central Michigan's speed, but Full Sail felt like they at least had somewhat of an answer to, I forgot the name already, excuse me, but their opponent's more methodical play style. It just felt like Shawnee, still with that control, was able to just still dominate, but not as much, and it felt a lot closer. Like we said, a little bit shocked to see how wide the score was opened up in the middle of, game 2? But these players now are underway. Oh, no, do we have an early double tap? We do! It's Kansas starting off hot.
We just got here. We didn't even see the ball touch the ground. We literally came in as it was going into the goal, and my goodness, we talked about the aggressive opener, that the immediate kickoff goal, and Kansas was like, hey, all right, let's show them what that looks like. They find it. They are up 106 seconds into the game, Powder. Holy cow. What an opener.
This is such a perfect start for Kansas, and you know what? I feel like they had the little bit of an edge, and it might be biased just because I've gotten to see a couple of these players before, and gotten to see this roster before, but, Butler, maybe with an answer, they have some offense early on as they go into the air and into the corner. Just has to take it back, though. Smart play. Give it right back to a teammate. Not able to get it right away. Can't beat out the defender. Actually, he can. He dumps it off into the corner. The shot got to be ripped out low. Top left corner just off. Can Munch follow it up? Beaten out by the defender and sent out. We have a very quick start to game 1.
Yeah, we really do. This does not feel like a traditional game 1. I've been saying game 1s are often that time where a player or teams can feel out their opponent. Can we be the offense? Can we be the defense? But right now, everybody's just like shooting to kill. They're just like, score right now, go right now. It is just that insane immediate level of aggression being brought to the table that I still think this is going to be a really exciting series. And okay, once again, we almost see the goal, but close, not going to cut it. You've got to find it all the way in past that goal line.
Butler, that's a couple times now that they've come close.
Hey, what's up, Biggles? I just noticed you. I apologize.
They've got plenty of time. Kai's got plenty of boost on the wall. Tries to give it off to a teammate midfield. Kind of fakes him out.
Currently doing the casting workshop. I'm listening into Powder and Septilence.
Not quite working yet.
May or may not be alive.
Papa Red.
A live cast, anyway. Not actually in person live.
Morales to the back wall, looking to follow and drop this down.
Talk better. Hi, Hunted.
Kansas doing
How you doing?
Can to break out. They
Talk
can do
better.
It. To shut
Never.
Right down at Butler. They keep pressing. Can they find the goal? Under. It's over. It's high. Can anybody get it? They cannot. It's Morales coming in though to keep the offense going.
Oh my goodness, just close as close can be, but close.
Better talk betterer.
So they are not able to cut that out. Powder, I think you accidentally nailed the strategy of Butler right now. I think we're looking at a boost drought situation because while you were talking, I was watching Kansas and watching their boost, and I think Spade just got to a full 100 for the first time in 2 minutes. I mean, it really has been Butler trying to be in control of boost, but as I'm talking about it, the flip has been stripped. The waffle iron has been flipped completely over, and now it looks like we're seeing Kansas coming quickly with that boost drought scenario. They're trying to zone out Butler as quickly as they can. And speaking of Butler, almost putting that goal down, but just cannot find the ball in that goal.
Oh, and such a close call there. Butler nearly giving them a goal, but good rotation on them. They still have an opportunity on offense. Double down. That one's on. Can he clean it up? Ooh. He can. What a play, and Munch cleans it up.
No one can see me, but I'm clapping for Munch right there. What an execution. Coming in off the corner from Kai Munch there to follow up. It's not quite a secondary plan, but the end of the first one, just a couple inches away.
Had the first Sunday of the season go for me yesterday. Well, I mean,
tied up 1-1, 2:18 on the clock. We are looking at
I actually would need to check.
0-0, right? We're seeing one of these teams has
being that I'm a Jet fan, I don't always watch season openers because I know how the season's going to go anyway. At least this generation of the Jets.
It really does feel like the most close in skill we've had yet today.
You know, it's really funny. Kansas University's football team starting 2-0. That's insane.
I mean, Munch really
You get it.
Not that
Okay.
it was importantly to begin with, but I feel like we've really seen an increase in momentum here in the second half of Game 2. Munch finding 2 goals. I think that was like 15 or 20 in-game seconds.
Kansas
so,
football starting 2-0 and beating West Virginia in West Virginia is probably the most insane thing
They're going to try to take that point lead even further.
in a long time. Yeah, Baltimore beat New York 24-9 in New York.
Shutting them down once more.
It was 24-3 going into the fourth quarter.
Able to follow it. Kansas really struggling to get out.
They got that Joe Flacco power.
Able to get a full clear yet as Kai now forward.
Imagine Joe Flacco being your quarterback.
Kansas out to midfield.
Throwing for 307 yards.
Still some boosts as he takes
307 yards ain't bad.
Shut down by the defense to follow up.
1 touchdown, 1 interception. I mean, it could have been worse. But yeah, that's rough stuff. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Over 60 seconds left to try to get this one tied up, try to get it to an overtime.
Butler,
I might have to watch a little more Kansas football though, because if the Jayhawks are actually taking games off of conference opponents, that's
security a single point can present, and
that's
Kara
something
put the
different.
exclamation point on the end of my sentence there. It was exactly that. You know, we're in the lead, but hardly. They score one time, we're tied up. All of a sudden, nobody's got a lead. With only 56 seconds on the clock, Powder, this is a true now or never moment. This is put that point on the board and win. We're walking this all the way into overtime until somebody does.
And you know, we'd love to see that be the first one.
Yeah, Joe Flacco, the starting quarterback for the Jets. Like, they didn't even put Zach Wilson in. I need to double check, see if Zach Wilson got injured or not. But
taking it upon himself, dribbling it out, still with possession. Off the side wall from Shura.
That moment when Joe Flacco's your starting quarterback, though.
Instead, he's taking it up the wall.
Just imagine.
Kansas might be looking for that physicality. They couldn't land at that time. Now into the midfield. Powerful clear out. Beats out 2, but Spade on the follow. Who's stolen, though, and now you can see Kansas a little bit low. Doesn't matter, though, as Spade is able to find
Joe Flacco still in the NFL, just to give us a Brady reference.
I'm starting to think Butler has, or excuse me, I'm starting to think Kansas has as well. Butler is playing the type of style where they have.
He did win a Super Bowl with the Ravens.
The goal finder. They've got 2 players to back them up. That player being
ironic. They brought back his corpse in order to have a home opener.
Effectively as they can. Make sure they stay
against the Ravens.
They've done a phenomenal job so far. Munch hasn't touched the ball in probably close to a minute. We had a minute 30 something on the clock. Last time I saw Munch.
I speak with all due respect to Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, not a bad guy. And stellar guy, really.
Keep that player out of the way. They found the 1 goal they needed to win. As we trickle down to 3 seconds left.
Okay, Kansas wins game number 1. Let's go.
Still an opportunity, though. Still into the air, but not the touch that Butler needs.
Kansas v.
is
Butler.
A heartbreaking loss if you're Butler. You had the lead and gave up 2 in a row late to end up losing game 1, but you know what? Still, they've got more. You talked about at the very beginning of the broadcast, just GG, regain, go next. That's all you got to do if you are Butler. They had perfect control of the ball for about the mid portion of that game, but gave it away to Kansas late.
Now, I mean, I just cannot believe Kansas. What a phenomenal turnaround. We talked about wanting a close series, and by golly, I hope the rest of the series is just like that, because it was tied up to less than a minute on the clock. Kansas finds that clutch goal. They put it away. They walk away with game 1. But like you said, Powder, that's the beauty of Rocket League. You lost game 1. And in essence, it's almost like, okay, we lost game 1, so what? Like, let's go in and win game 2. Let's tie things back up and really reset the clock to walk away with this series victory. And Butler has shown us, clearly they are capable of doing just that.
They certainly are. Just caught out a couple of times by Kansas, and there at the end got a little bit aggressive. They were getting desperate for the last goal, and instead of being able to tie it up, they had to go all the way back and go coast to coast. Didn't quite work out for them. I still like the way that both of these teams are playing. It feels like that each of them can get a win off of one another with the way that they play. So I wouldn't recommend any major adjustments for either of these teams. Just small little tweaks need to be made, especially for Butler, to try to get that win and try to hold on to the lead this time. As we hop into game 2, we'll have to see how they respond, giving that one up late.
What is the response from Butler going to be? Have they noticed as well what's kind of happening from Kansas? Are they intentionally targeting Munch here? Was that sheer coincidence? Was that just an opportunity for Kansas to sneak in and find a victory? Munch already playing that back third, blocking out that goal, making sure Spade does not get to sneak away with an early goal, even though they are going to try. Spade walks it all the way up to the front door, but it is slammed in their face. We are still looking at that 1-1, or excuse me, that 0-0 scoreline, no points on the board.
We saw Kansas in game 1 get the early goal, maybe trying to get another here. They have early offense, hasn't resulted in quite much just yet. Down in favor for Butler. Breaking out though is Kansas, starting to get a little more aggressive. You can see him chase down Kai after winning the challenge. Can't find it yet. That one will be high as well. Rebound though is off, and now 2 went upfield for Kansas. But Butler can't win out the challenge. This still results in possession, but not quite a quick counterattack. And instead, right back into the hands of Kansas. Chura got the reset, can't follow it up. Now beaten out by Butler. Here's an opportunity, but instead he allows Papa Red to take it over. And possession back into the hands of Kansas.
A minute off the clock. So this game already telling
a minute. Held it for a minute.
Story.
Come on, Powder.
With that, what was it, 4
you know you can do better than that.
Really put Kansas in a comfortable position. That goal, at the end of the day, is part of the reason they were able to win. But this time they don't find that extra.
What am I
goal.
watching? I'm not putting it up on video just because it's a rival organization.
Kansas instead,
not to be confused with actual rival esports, but I'm watching Powder and Septulence commentating Kansas versus Butler right now.
And that's honestly
it may or may not be alive.
Well, especially in this game.
Or at live. Or it may be live on Twitch right now.
Much, and it's not even really many shots either. Over 90 seconds in,
there are things I am not willing to say. Hunted. I'm not doing that. But there are some. We censor words like that around here.
Challenge, but he can't take the player off the field. Pass out, no boost left. Can't catch up for Papa Pedro, but the shot still in from Spade. And he gets a lead for Kansas.
The lead for Kansas found, and I mean, hey, a little bit late, but as a wise man once said, we still take those. We absolutely take those. Coming in quick, they find, not quick, actually.
Can I get a quote on the wise man there? Which wise man? Come on, Sep.
Kansas, they know, just as anybody watching probably knows, you only got to win by 1 point. It's not flashy, but it gets the job done.
It certainly does. Is Kansas now again maybe looking to build off that goal. A good challenge off Kai, but into the hands of Butler once again. But now Butler has to get something done with it. They've gotten these possessions, but it doesn't have, or not much happens with them. And this is their chance. Can he beat him out to the ball? Nobody finding it. Beaten out by Kansas again, though. Spade gonna try to hook this one in, taken off the field. Smart demolition. That's the physicality we need to see. You don't necessarily need to chase demolitions, but something like that will break it out. Now another opportunity for Butler, placed high, read perfectly off the back wall, forced to race on back. Spade will take it to the back again, and Kansas just continuing to hold this pressure.
The pressure, just waiting for the valve to pop here. If they can break through, Butler would be able to tie things up. 2 minutes on the clock. There is more than enough time on the clock for either team to really begin to write a new narrative, to write a new story. But as Butler continues to struggle to even find ball control, let alone a goal, that is going to leave Kansas open to put some more goals down. They're now up 2-0.
Butler really just struggling to break out. A slow challenge there, and nobody left behind him to clean things up when that miss comes out. Kansas just seeming to play a little bit too quick for Butler's liking. And it's that speed that's just resulting Butler in not necessarily a panic, but just not able to keep up with the pace of gameplay.
Right.
It's a 2-0 lead now for Kansas as Butler trying anything they can, and maybe some passes will help them go back the other way.
We've got 100 seconds left on the clock. That is 1 goal per 50 seconds. 5-0 for Butler, and that is absolutely doable. Doable beyond belief. And it's just going to be if they get ball control to a consistent point. Morales has it there, knocks it towards goal. There's absolutely zero follow-up. Nobody was there to knock it in or to double tap or even find a demo to hope it roll in on its own. It was just an open ball, basically handed it right over to Kansas. They're going to take that and run with it.
They are, as Kansas looking for more offense again. The passing plays out. Maybe Butler can take advantage of this. It was an aggressive play, sending 3 men up, but Kansas just too quick back. Now he's got to race back. It's a slow ball over towards the side, and Kai will clean it up to get it towards the side. Out in the midfield now. Pushed forward into Papa Pedro, bumping him out of the way, and a fake out there, but he gives it right into the hands of Spade. Good catch up from Butler, but not much happening on the offensive side from Butler, and that is what they need. Still held scoreless in this game as they march back to offense. They need to get anything going, and it's just simply not happening. Kansas just too much control of the ball.
Oh my goodness, just a great block there. Bounces right off the corner of the goal, and now it's going to be Kai coming in quick, trying to bring it, knocks it down. I think we're looking at it again. Powder goes all the way down toward the goal of Kansas. Nobody is there to catch it. It just is passed to Kansas. And it's going to be Butler kind of floundering a little bit off the back of their own play. They need somebody there. They need a little bit more communication to know why they're sending it that way, who's going to go catch it, who's going to try and knock it into goal, because each time they clear it down towards the goal of Kansas, they're just handing it back to Kansas.
Cool.
Oh, Spade coming out with the double tap here, securing game
That
2.
was
It
nasty.
felt like it was coming from Kansas, just consistent.
Yeah, the double
Actually,
tap
that's
was
technically not even a
really
double, I guess,
nice.
kind of in a way, but it's actually a pass
Like
from
a
his
1.5
teammate.
tap?
A 1.5 tap as it comes from his teammate, but he stayed in the air, cleaned it up, and Kansas walking out with a 2-0 series lead. And Septilins, I thought this was going to be our 4-game series, but Butler has a lot to fix here in between games if they want that to happen.
I wholeheartedly agree with you right now, Powder. Game 1 was so close. We saw just neck and neck, tooth and nail, but Game 2, Kansas really started to run away with it, and I think I did a pretty effective job highlighting why I think that was happening, with that being a lot of Butler clearing down toward the goal of Kansas, but then all three of them are still playing defense. So it's like, okay, you've just prolonged the inevitable. You've made the wick a little bit longer, right? But you still aren't putting out the fire. You still aren't diffusing the bomb here. It's just waiting a little bit longer for that team to come through and score on you eventually. I think what I want to see is either a clear with an immediate follow-up from that player, or a clear while a teammate is also gunning it downfield, trying to find that goal afterwards. Because right now it really does just feel like, and then they wait 10 seconds and have to do it again. It's just that constant routine we're seeing.
And I wholeheartedly agree. And sometimes it can be frustrating to watch. Sometimes, not gonna lie, when it feels like the team has it right there, the ability to give a pass out to somebody instead of just clearing it down. But you know what? It all comes with the way that Kansas is playing. They are forcing them to feel desperate for clears, and they just won't allow Butler any opportunity for them other than to just bang it downfield. And again, it just keeps building this desperation that you can see Butler feeling. And it's just resulting in less and less control for Butler in Kansas. Walking into Game 3, they want to keep that up. They want to keep Butler feeling desperate, needing anything to go their way. But if it keeps going along this way, we're looking like it is looking like Kansas might walk away with a sweep.
Truly, Kansas is 5 minutes. They're hypothetically 1 goal away from walking away with a sweep. And Powder, there's something interesting about playing at a competitive level versus watching people play at a competitive level. Because to us, as the commentators, as the analysts, we're like, oh my goodness. I'm gonna continue my point, but that is an early goal for Kansas. We're watching, we're like, wow, that's crazy that they keep doing that. But as the player in the moment, they might not even be aware they are doing that. You know what I mean? It's like they are just living in that moment. They're trying to adapt and survive as long as they can. They may not even realize that they're stuck in this routine of clear, defend, clear, defend, clear, defend. But Kansas, they don't even want the defense right there. They just want the goal.
Yeah, and to your point right there, that's exactly why scrims and replay reviews are important, because you can get so locked into how you're playing and just that desperation, just needing anything to go your way with it not happening, that it's important to take a look back at those and work on those between weeks. Like we said, early on in this season, you expect to see stuff like that happen for a team like Butler, and it's just something they got to work on. But early on, even though they are down, they still have a chance, and maybe they can clang one home there. No, but can the rebound go their way? No, it's cut off by the defense. And out into the midfield, it's Papa Pedro finishing it off, following it up himself. Midfield pass, what a play! It's off the crossbar. One taken off the field, though. Munch can catch up. It's a slow roller down, and Spade will clean it up.
Everybody watches that one happen in slow motion. You're just waiting for it to roll in. Because, to be fair, sometimes it doesn't. And those are the weird plays. But no, this time Spade is there to bounce it right into goal, secure that second point for Kansas. And now they are 4 minutes away from giving us our third 3-0 sweep. And Powder, something I just realized is, if Kansas wins this, the home team has not only won every time, the home team has 3-0'd every time.
We'll have to see if that ends up being a complete pattern throughout the night. If Kansas can hold on to this, I still think Butler has a fantastic chance to get back into it, but they need a change of gameplay. We talked about how after Game 1, they didn't need a massive adjustment. Right. I wouldn't say that this one is a massive one, but they need to stop feeling so desperate. We saw clear right there where it was a pass to one another, and you know what? Look at this. It's working out for them. Kansas might have possession, but they don't exactly look comfortable, except for the demolition. And what do you know? It's Butler in again. Munch off the ceiling. Can he take advantage? Just not enough in the tank. Is the rebound in? No, it's a double commit, though. Getting Kansas to get a bit panicky. Here's Kai on the follow. It's a soft one, and it's out from Kansas once again.
Find the throw. There you go.
At the end of the day, Powder, when you start a game like Rocket League, fundamentally, your primary concern is, I want to keep the ball as far away from my goal as possible. Because the further away your opponent is, the harder it is to score.
I will say
that's
this
kind of what
pairing,
Butler's accidentally doing. They're falling back on those fundamentals where they're thinking,
they balance
keep
each
it as
other
far
out
from our
very
goal as
well.
possible. But like you mentioned, that's not always the best play. It might actually be smarter to not clear the ball and try to dribble it down.
I
towards
just
the
wish there were
opposing goal
shorter
instead of just
throws,
dipping it as
get each
bad
other
as
more
it
involved, make it more of a conversational.
Certainly, and you know, Butler starting to win these challenges out. It feels like they have made slight adjustments to how they want to get these clears out and want to get on offense. It's just not resulting in the goal yet as we reach halftime. And Munch has plenty of time. Oh, never mind. Here comes Spade to try to cut it off, and it works out for Kansas. A pass back. Oh, it's actually to nobody. Placed wide by Butler, but nobody to follow, and it's Kansas back again. Butler doing anything possible off the ceiling. Can they get the read? It's Kai. Can't catch up. Shot on, but actually cut off. And once more, Butler just struggling to really secure an offense and really set up one that is dangerous for these shots.
Kansas, they are 2 minutes away from being able to walk away with that 3-0 sweep, our third of the evening. I mean, there's so little that can be done right now from Butler. I think we're watching a lot of just immediate adaptability from Kansas. Even if something looks like it's not going to go their way for 2 seconds, for 5 seconds, they're immediately changing their play style, changing the pass, changing the location of the ball, or finding demolition. Kansas is hands down our most physical team today. It's not the main focus of their play style, but I think we've undoubtedly seen more demolitions from them than we've seen from probably any other team combined tonight.
They certainly have been. Less than 90 seconds left, and you know, this domination, this control just continues. Winning
Time
that
reset.
challenge there. Kai again to an open net. Is it through?
Okay.
And just behind the defender, and don't count him out just yet.
Down but not out. Backs against the wall, but still swinging. Fight or flight has activated, and they are flightless birds. Okay, I don't have a fourth one, but the point is, Butler has put a point on the board, and that means they are ready to shake things up. That 2-point advantage, the largest false sense of security in a game of Rocket League. Now Butler has 71 seconds to find just a single point here. They are so close. They're doing it just there in that moment, but still ball control in favor of Butler. Kai has it knocked down toward the center field. It's going to be an immediate demolition in favor of Butler. They've got 60 seconds on the clock. Pressure is against them. It's now or never. Can they make game 4 happen? Can they make even an overtime happen? A great clear into center field with a follow-up from Kai. Falls a little bit short, and I think that's going to be the window for Kansas to take ball control once again.
But I still loved that set from Butler.
Absolutely.
And it's just unfortunate to see with only a minute left. It felt like they finally had pressure. It felt like they finally were making Kansas a little bit scared. But it's happening too late in the game. They only have just over 30 seconds to not only get the ball back, but set that back up and get a goal to tie it up. Morales has to get around on it. It's a good pass out to a teammate.
Oh, wow.
Played very high. Chura up. It's towards the side. And Butler doing a much better job. You can see the pace of play from them picking up, but again, just too late. Kansas is matching it, getting the ball out. Papa Pedro just a slow play up, less than 10, and Kansas
I feel like
winning
we
that
could
one.
have Powder
An awkward
peaking
play
the
here.
energy.
Can they try to secure it?
Maybe a little
Down
too much
Morales,
uniformity.
Still alive as it's popped
One
up.
goal game.
Looking for the ground is Kansas. Chura
that's
will
it.
play it
Granted,
down, and
KU had
Kansas
control
has
of that the
unfortunately
entire
run out.
time.
You know what? A 3-0, but by golly, there was a moment there, Powder. I know you felt it, because I know I felt it as well. That was Butler came to life. In a matter of mere seconds, they showed us the potential that that team has. They had the lead. They had the progressive advantage for maybe 10 seconds.
Okay.
And holy cow, it looked like a brand new team. That is the sign of life I want to see in week 2. Because that's the type of game you want to go back and watch and realize we were this close. All we have to change is, you know, these 2 things. You change those 2 things, Butler is going to come out swinging next week, guaranteed.
They certainly will, because you know what, and like I mentioned, they had all that offense, they had those great sets, but it only happened in the final 60 seconds.
Right.
If they had found that at the beginning of game 3, heading to a game
The
4,
replay that they
unfortunately,
just
that's not what
showed.
happened, but you know, that's just the beauty of how these leagues work. You got plenty of time to figure it out. We're only in
You
week
get the
2,
save on the
so
initial
again,
touch
gotta go back,
in.
look over the VOD, but
It
you know what,
throws
that's a
the
good one to
last
look over,
person
because
back, and
last
it's
minute,
just
how
this
they
little
just go back to
fall
the
in the
back,
lap,
like,
roll up.
like their chances.
I wholeheartedly agree. Maybe they can do a little bit of
Oh, the slow-mo on that made it hilarious. That was so comical. It wasn't intended.
Back here for our interview and 4th and final series of the night. We'll see you in just a bit.
Okay, good. I'm glad that they get a break. glad that they get a break, because, oh, Lord. That was a lot of talking. Heavy stall job as well. They're doing very good as far as being extremely serviceable. Don't blow my nose.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to NACE Star League. I'm still Septilence, that's still Powder, and we are just coming to y'all after the 3-0 victory by the University of Kansas. And Powder, I would say, game 1, not particularly dominant, but games 2 and 3, Kansas, they were a little more ruthless.
Yeah, they certainly showed up to play those last two games. That's kind of been the trend tonight. These teams not necessarily having a bad game one, but it feels like a warm-up game. That could be the broadcast nerves. It could be week 2, still getting warmed up. But they certainly have had much better games 2 and 3, and Kansas showed us that today.
Absolutely, and I believe we're joined by Chura here, who will be joining us in just a moment. I'm very excited to talk to them. You're a little bit more kind of in the team rather than just what we're seeing. So, Chura, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Just watched quite a good series. We were having a good time with it.
Yep.
So I want to ask, kind of addressing the first game, and Powder just touched down on this a little bit. It wasn't as dominant, so to speak, as games 2 and 3 were from you guys. So is that kind of a warm-up? Is that a general nerves thing?
Yeah, we're usually cold game 1. It's also very cold in this room. They had to put a space heater right here behind me because my hands are so cold. But yeah, games 2 and 3, we seem to come back and actually make it how it should be. So.
Yeah, good to hear. And you guys, I haven't gotten to see you guys play as a full roster before. I've gotten to see a couple players, specifically Spade, and with your team having history and NACE, making it all the way into the grand finals in 2020 with Spade on that roster. How does it feel when you kind of have that history behind you and kind of not necessarily expectations, but some shoes to fill?
Yeah. I just transferred here this year, so I wasn't actually here when they did all that, but Spade was. Pedro, I think, just came in the year after. But yeah, that team was really good, and they got pretty far. And yeah, we just trying to get as far as they did and hopefully win it. So.
Yeah, and what do you guys think is kind of your game plan going into the future weeks? You had a good week here in week 2. What's kind of the game plan? Are you going back to anything specific to try to work on as you head into the rest of your regular season?
So last week we played Michigan Tech and we beat them. And we won this game. Siena Heights we know is pretty good. So yeah, just trying to work on little things, just trying to overall make it smoother and hopefully take them and hopefully take our group.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, that's the goal, right? To get as far as you possibly can to try to live up to those 2020 expectations. Chura, just one more quick question for you before we let you go. Is there anybody you'd like to give just a thank you or a general shout out to?
My family usually watches. I don't know if they are. I sent them the link, but if so, them. Also, AJ Brown and Cooper Kupp won me my fantasy league this week, so shout out them. And that's
I'm
about
a
it.
Lions
Yeah.
fan. I don't like that.
Oh well, not sweet for you, but as an Eagles fan.
It's a run for me. But we take it how it is.
Oh my.
Absolutely. Well, Chura, hey, thank you so much for joining us, and a huge congrats to you and your team once again.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, with that, we've got, believe it or not, it feels kind of like we just got here, but we've got one more series left today, and I'm really excited to see how that one breaks down. Off the dome, I can't. Oh wait, no, just kidding. It's right here in front of me. St. Ambrose University versus Kansas State University.
I'll be right back.
I'm eager again.
Excuse me for a moment.
I've been honest with you guys all day. I haven't personally seen these teams before, so I'm doing a lot of learning here.
Yeah, and this is one of those one of these matchups where I don't know if we've 100% seen either of these teams play just yet. It's kind of more of the same. We've seen some of them. I think I've seen a few of St. Ambrose's members play, but not for Kennesaw State. So interesting to see again in this week 2 how these teams come out and how they play against their opponents. And if we keep up with tradition here, we've had 3-0 sweeps from all of our home teams today. So St. Ambrose, they've got shoes to fill now too. They want to get that 3-0 and keep the tradition up for the broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen the home team. Hold on, let me check my notes. We've seen the home team win 3
Howdy,
times
howdy.
in a row at a 3-0. Yeah. So we saw Central Michigan win it. Oh no, I'm lying. Game 1, Central Michigan won.
Once again, it seems we have caught Kendo away from his desk. Oh, and welcome to the Zech Tech Show, brought to you live by your host, me, Zech Tech. Now we see here on the screen, Trist drinking a nice ice-cold root beer. And here's me, JGTV, JG7,
really just face palming nice and hard. Representing the entire RL community waiting for the RLCS announcement. Quite a momentous occasion, that announcement. Something that we are all waiting for to see. And I believe the video, live stream, and or whatever they use to announce it will be fantastic. The production quality of the RLCS has been up year after year, and I'm so excited to see what they bring this next year. And what talent they bring on. We've seen them bring on some more, such as Bass from the past, Oliver Bass, onto the desk, as well as others from different regions. So good to see Chamako and Yumi and everybody bring it onto the desk alongside our other NA and EU casters. So, super excited to see that, and maybe one day you will see your host, Zektek, on that desk as well. But until then, enjoy the show.
Who knows? Like, full disclosure, I don't know much about either of these teams.
Yeah, and again, just that's the fun part about the beginning of the season is getting to learn these rosters. We're going to get to see them in other collegiate leagues as well, but here in NACE, kind of the first time we're seeing them, and maybe we'll see them again later on in the season. But here we go into game number 1. Do we have another kickoff goal? But maybe not this time. We saw a banger last match, but this time a little bit of a slower start as it's now Kennesaw State out into the midfield. Not much happening there, so it's Sap getting actually beaten out by a mile.
I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. Ooh, I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. Here. Is that a kendo I hear? Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. He's coming back to his desk.
Hey, there he is.
It's the only Kendo!
Hey, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Let's see.
I see it has become a meme time.
I mean, kind of, but at the same time. I've also been watching a collegiate Rocket League organization's broadcast.
Oh, nice. Which one?
One that shall remain unnamed.
Oh, alrighty then. I'm already this,
It is no names, please. Collegiate Rocket League organization, not CCA. So.
I would assume so.
I
mean, if they got you on staff, it's hard to go wrong.
I mean, I'm overrated. I've told that myself to others. So.
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
Let's see here. Okay. So we had a little bit of fun with your reel.
Oh joy! Please do tell.
Okay, so this is gonna be the most delightful of roasts. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the background casting that I got going on here.
Oh, yes, please. I fully understand that there's plenty of room for improvement.
Well, yes. All right, first the number one thing, and this is just right off the bat. Most working casting reels are about 2 minutes long. So you're over that by an astronomical amount.
Yeah.
And as far as having material for a reel, you have plenty of good material here for a reel.
I like it.
So like there's really good stuff, and I took like 5 or 6 different notes that I wanted to go back and forth to. First off, with 2 minutes, you want it to be punchy, and by that I mean you want your reel to have the ability to grab whoever's listening to it.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here. Perfect example of a reel that I truly enjoy. I usually use tacos as a example.
Yes.
For everyone.
That was one that I was. The little bit that I did reference, it was his that I looked at.
So like.
What a
We throw that up really quick. So the number one, as you're going through and picking what you do, one, not all reels need to have music. Taco chose music, and the one thing you're gonna notice right off the bat is that he starts out with it loud. It's a very punchy music, so you know you got that downbeat. So musical style engages whoever's listening. Everything that you put into a reel, you want it to have a purpose. Like, this is in this spot for what reason? So, like, when you choose a clip that you want to be your opener for your reel, I'm not going to say a majority of the time, but a large portion of the time, the person listening is going to either listen longer or disqualify you on this first clip of the reel. So you always want to put your best foot forward. So whatever you feel like is the best clip, put it up. If it's a color commentary, put it up. If it's, on stage, live clip, put it up. If it's a play-by-play clip, put it up. Goal call, whatever it is, work around it. So like Taco leads with this, and one thing I do appreciate about Taco's clips, he puts everything that he's done under it.
What a dunk.
So like CRL B stream.
Seconds as Mizzou have anything left in their tank. It's going to go to Chalks. Infield pass to Whale. Over the goal, off the bar. What a read by Chalks. That's the equalizer in 0 seconds. What a way to survive.
Like, that's peak. Just peak Taco right off the first clip. You could be under a rock and you're immediately hooked on what? That's the first clip in a 2-minute video. I'm watching this whole thing. I don't care.
Well, I guess once you're on a roll, you're going to stay on it. It's going to take quite a lot of force to push them back. UT Dallas cannot provide it. Hit the gym, lads. Right now, Texas Tech is running all over you. They're shooting 75% from the field. Game 1 is history. Game 2, the Red Raiders are here to play.
So, you'll notice that one brought everything back. Palate cleanser, you might say. So he starts out with peak game-tying goal call, brilliant moment, cuts it off, lets it go. Then comes with a palate cleanser. Analytics, throwing out statistics, and there's a couple little one-liner quips in there as well. So, highly entertaining, highly analytical. You basically, in 2 clips, Taco's already shown, hey, this is just a small taste of what I can do, and it's impressive. You still there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
We have just hit halftime. This is no insurmountable lead, but 2 goals right now must feel like such a marathon. Sosa stepping up in a big way. The Game 7 double tap to bring it within 1.
Okay, we've got a play-by-play. We have a color. And then we have analysis into play-by-play. Recognition in the middle of analysis after a throw. Not everybody's going to realize that was immediately given to him on a throw, and he came in with a little bit of story building.
Yeah.
But he shows his ability to transition with this clip. 3 clips, a mere 51 seconds. More like 40 seconds if you don't include the opening music with his face and all the pretty socials.
Yeah, these long clears do help, so now it's just about making sure that they can capitalize on mistakes. Is that it? It's 2 players committing. It's not out yet. Bits from a tough angle. It's off the bar. It's in the goal. They've just potentially stolen game number 2.
A lot of respect from Nefarious on the 3 cheese defense. Really.
Another really hype into another palate cleansing somber style. So you're getting a lot of variance as well, but not like chaotic variance. This is consistency.
Really, every time we've seen a play like that, kind of a lofted air dribble or just a touch middle, they don't go
Variety of moments as well. Here's a 1-1 overtime. Goal call.
for it, but the bump play, they go for those. Jaywis from an angle into the back post, and that's game 2 to Nefarious.
So in a minute 24, Taco has shown me he is very good at play-by-play and goal calls, like iconic level goal calls. 2, analysis is not only there, but he's versatile enough to pick up play-by-play, be able to throw out, do whatever. Like I've seen every single form of flexibility that I could imagine behind the mic. The only thing that's missing here is we don't have a desk. Oh, wait. Yeah, we do.
Unfortunately, they will get another chance. They're just going to get sent to the lower bracket, but Nefarious dominantly down the stretch. We'll take this series, move on to our winner final against Ghost Gaming. And Fickle, it was a little bit of a shaky start, but how you feeling about that series from Nefarious?
So that one right there, if there is any clip I feel like Taco could update, it might be that one. But I also understand why that clip is in there. Because that clip is in there, DreamHack with achieves. Like, it doesn't get that like faces. And it's a good control clip as well. Taco is the one taking the throw to the desk host, and Fickle.
Bit of a shaky start, but how you feeling about that series from Nefarious?
Everything's smooth. So he was able to put all of that in under a 2-minute video with about 20 seconds of snazzy graphics as bread to sandwich it.
Gotcha. So like your best of each style of casting.
Kind of like that. That is definitely the thought process. Like, you want to try to develop a story. Put a video together in 2 minutes that shows me everything that you can do. So the variety, the depth, the consistency, and that should be the goal. Or at least mentally. Let's see here.
Gotcha.
Okay. So I go back to this right here.
The dunk. Did he? I think he hit this off of Temmie.
It was off the backboard. He reads the clear and just dunks him.
God, Temmie, you goofy weird.
Transition on the first clip to the second clip. Not gonna lie. It had me raise an eyebrow. But do you feel like this first clip is your best clip?
No.
No, okay. You know, therein lies the first thing that I wanted to reveal. So let's see. I'm gonna skip to just before 2 minutes. Because there was something I really liked. If there was one clip where I'm like, okay, this is one that you need to keep.
Cairo poised to take this game.
Actually, oh my god. And actually, oh my god, Clover off the backboard, the double touch will find the 7th one for Team Benito. It's no Brazil, but I will still take a 7-2 win.
You know, some may ask, Clover, is this a 3-leaf? Is this a 4-leaf? It doesn't matter. He's got the angles. He don't need no luck. He's got the mechanics. He will put it home every single time. That
right there, I love that color spot. I feel like that is one clip you want to use. Is it the 3-leaf? Is it the 4? Like, that actually highly entertained me. So, like, you can show yourself as someone who can wordsmith in that clip. And bring a level of entertainment value. It was also a really good compact clip. So one of the other things that I would encourage you to do is get good at, or not get good at, but understand that there are times where you need to cut off clips a little bit earlier. And that's something
Yeah,
else that I have written down. I can actually...
That one should have less of the lead-in from my co-caster.
Yeah.
And cut sooner to...
Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to cut yourself off early, either. So, like, another perfect example...
Gosh, L has got to have dislocated every single axle on that team.
So,
Sideball, it goes center.
Another good example of that, and I wrote this clip specifically down for shortcutting. But take a listen to this. One, I like this clip because of how comfortable you sound. You sound so much more comfortable casting Oregon State. Probably for obvious reasons.
Savage gets to it first. He tries to pop it high. Over Zola. Over Dialect and under the crossbar. Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in the final game of the series. Just that little pop. Oh, looks like Dialect own goal. That is...
Okay. There are two places where I could see this being cut, and it would be a really good cut.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the entirety of the goal play-by-play, really good stuff.
Just that little center. Savage gets to it first. He tries to pop it high.
Like,
over Zola.
elevation.
Over Dialect and under the crossbar. Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in...
You could potentially cut it just after Eastern Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And then fade it out, put in the next. Because there is a slight awkwardness to after Eastern Oregon.
In the final game of the series. Just that.
Or you could do in the final game of the series, cut. Both of those are cuttable spots.
A little pop.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like Dialect own goal. That is unfortunate.
Granted, I also know that part of that was because Oregon States are usually you solo casting, correct?
Pretty often, yeah.
Pretty often. Like, it sounded like just from the cut of that clip that you had nobody with you and you were just relying on yourself. That's another reason for the comfortability. Like, if you're the one in control of the moment and in control of how the entire cast goes, there's a inherent level of comfort that goes with that. So, like, you sounded really good, and I think that's another really good clip where you can actually use a shortcut or cutting it just a little bit shorter to bring out, one, time efficiency, but make it more poignant. Yeah, cut out maybe that little inconsistency, which...
The crossbar. Savage putting home the first goal for Eastern Oregon in the final.
The breath there, I understand. Sometimes you got to take a breath. But if you cut it just after Eastern Oregon, nobody knows that you took a breath after, and it sounded just a tiny bit awkward.
No.
Final game of the series.
The first clip was, what, 2 minutes in?
Yeah, 2 minutes in the Clover. It's in that 2 minute area for Clover. 7:05 was this clip right here. So, okay, one of my pet peeves about you.
Uh-huh.
And this comes up multiple times.
Holy Zectac, what is happening this series?
I honestly do not know, but it's just a...
Yep.
Luck, up within the air. Plum goes out to challenge him. Luck goes under. Luck 50's the last man. Yulito shoots. It's in! Yulito scores for Prestige Gold, and it's a 1-goal game. And a little fake underneath.
Oh, wait.
And honestly, I do not know.
Oh, there it is.
Right. I shouldn't be admitting I don't know things. I'm just the confident one behind the desk.
Yes. Realize this is not a pet peeve for everybody. But for me personally, if I hear a commentator say, I don't know, you lose all credibility when that happens.
Yep.
It's like, if you want to get paid the big bucks, you know, the big $15 gigs, then you better know what you're talking about. So I would rather you cheese it and it not be true, and then take responsibility later on, than for you to not know and readily admit that you don't know. Because the last thing you want your catchphrase to be is, "Hi, I'm Ken Carmen, Kendo Slice, and I don't know."
No, yeah.
You know? Don't let that become your inherent catchphrase.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what you have here is you have 8 minutes of clips.
What is happening this series?
Oh, dadgummit, why did I go back to that one? That was inadvertent. You have a lot of
Angles,
really
no
fun
luck.
clips.
He's got the mechanics. He will put it home every single time.
Got the mechanics. He'll put it home every single time.
To get these goals going. What a beautiful, beautiful positioning.
Oh, if Cairo wins this series, that money's going straight into a new pair of axles because they have to be broken.
That's another fun one. You can use that as a transition.
Same angles and double taps last time. But
Here.
you have the mechanics and game sense to keep it up. I think he does. Is Cairo making a good drive?
So what I saw in this 8 minutes of footage was you do know what you're doing. And you have a lot of things to offer. The issue was I kind of stopped watching after the first 45 seconds. So I never actually came to learn that. I stopped watching after you said I don't know. I'm just putting myself in the shoes of somebody who is watching this reel to put you into the big buck $15 sporting good big gig. Yep. With the mentality of someone who's not watching the entire thing. Yeah, you're not gonna catch too many people starting out with a couple of clips that were not your best one. So tip, put your best foot forward, then work around whatever that best foot is. So as you're working around it, try not to put two of the same clip one after another unless one enhances the other.
Yeah.
So keep me guessing. Keep me wanting to watch more. Make your goal that I sit through the entire 2 to 2.5 minutes of your reel. Catch my eyes. Make it entertaining. Make me enjoy your casting in 2 minutes. And I hate using Taco as the perfect example, but more often than not, dude has figured out
from the field. Game 1 is
how to make his stuff compact, but just as effective. And to be honest, that is the art form of being a commentator. Learning to compact and compartmentalize what you are saying to where you can say it with less words, but it be just as potent if you had an hour worth of lecture that everybody had to sit through.
Yeah.
So your ability to turn that into your reel and convey all of that in your reel and present yourself as a potential candidate for whatever you are hoping to work for in that reel, like the reel is the heart and soul of who a commentator is. And you don't have to be perfect at editing. You don't have to have snazzy, deep cut beats. But understand that a reel, if it is your cold call reel, you're bearing your soul to somebody. And 90% of the time, they're going to stomp on it. So make it as convincing a one shot. Never throw it away.
Yeah.
So that would be the thought process on everything. We got the couple of clips that I really liked. The one example, the shortcuts on the 705, the two. Cut out the I don't knows. I don't want to hear it.
Yep.
Let's see. 642, there was a solo carry. Also, look for... This isn't on you,
Forcing the dunk. Did he? I think he hit
but the
it
stream
back.
quality
Tammy.
on these first two clips,
No, yeah, not good.
yeah, below not good.
God, Tammy.
Not saying you have to cut it from your reel,
And that quick little
but keep in
turn,
mind if
Tammy
there's
couldn't
distractions, it
It's
could be
distracting plus
the best. It could be the best quality. It could be the best clip of your life, casting wise. If it looks like this, and there's 10 pixels, if it looks like the blurry kendo cam, then chances are people are going to be distracted from the true value behind it.
Yeah, no, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, watching the Justin, this is Rocket League. The fact that on his goal explosion, they kind of cuts and jitters.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, eh.
Back to Zuckerberg. Big long shot. That net is open.
There's so many things.
Scores
All right,
it.
let's see here.
Almost a full 5 minutes into overtime. 2 full games. Almost it. Schnoof couldn't get back in.
If I remember, it was actually this clip.
Back to Zuckerberg. Big long shot. That net is open and Zook scores it. Almost a full 5 minutes into overtime. 2 full games almost going scoreless. And Zook, the sniper shot from midfield, makes sure that Oregon State stays in this series. And we are going to Champions Field.
I think that entire clip is fine to leave in, as is. Because you have an overtime winner. During moments like that, it's perfectly fine to style a little bit. It's perfectly fine to take the mic and own the moment.
Big long shot. That net is open and Zook scores it. Almost a full 5 minutes into overtime. 2 full games almost going scoreless. And Zook, the sniper shot from midfield, makes sure that Oregon State stays in this series. And we are going to Champions Field. Absolutely. And, they may be called missing in action esports, but there was no action missing from this series. And we are sniper shot from midfield, make sure that Oregon State stays in this series. And we are going to
maybe cut it. Make sure that Oregon State stays in this series, just because you have a double up a field at the very end, Champions Field.
Going to Champions Field.
Yes, I know Champions Field. It's involuntary. You can't avoid it. If you don't cut it at all, that's fine. But that's another one of those little quick cuts that, as I'm paying attention, is hey, you could potentially cut it right there. If you want to save a couple seconds to get it under 2 minutes, boom. But as far as the little things here and there, yeah, you have everything you need to make a perfect reel. Definitely cut whatever your next revision is down to about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Even if it ends up only being 1:30 seconds. Oh no, the stream died.
Yeah, you are getting a little jittery.
Oh no, the stream died. Oh, this is bad. I'm not sure what's going on. Very interesting. We're probably gonna chalk it up to servers. Not gonna say which companies. But it's okay. I'll probably cut the stream portion right here because there's only about 20 minutes, and if the servers are giving me jazz, we don't play that game. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody live. Oh no, it's down. There's no more 154 kilobytes per second. 154 kilobytes. I don't know how this looks. Oh, it's so bad. It's dead. Twitch, what are you doing to me? Twitch! Twitch, no!